Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Mannu Issue ACCA classes. So in this video, I will be explaining the further question and that's from the topic recording transaction and the events. In the previous video, I had been covered up to question number 125. So in case you have been missed out my previous video, you can still access it from the playlist available on my YouTube channel at free of cost. And if you are the first if you are watching my video for the first time, do not forget to subscribe my channel and share it among your friends so that they could also have a benefit. So let's do the today topic, and that's from the sales tax and discount. And I will try my best to simplify the things so that it will be easier for you guys. And the main purpose will be to find out the mistake point where the most of the students do the mistake while solving the question. So let's start the today video. The question number is 126, and the question is asking, if the sales tax is charged at 15%, what will be the gross value of sales invoice prepared by Phoenix? Okay, so first and foremost, the mistake that we student which used to do while solving the question is we sometimes miss out what actual sales tax given in the question. Sometimes we just like I think many of the students did the mistake, and they presume that the sales tax or purchase tax rate will be 20%, but that will not be always be the case. Okay, so first and foremost thing, you need to check out what the sales tax is given. So as in our question, it's the 15%. Now let's read the scenario behind. Phoenix is registered to account for sales tax. Okay, and during May, Phoenix sold goods with a list price of $600 excluding sales tax. So other mistake what the student did is, you need to figure out whether the amount given is having the sales tax included or not. Okay, so to yarn on the credit, as Yan was buying a large quantity of goods, Phoenix deducted trade discount of 5% of the normal list price. Okay, so what the scene is, the Phoenix is registered for the sales tax, and basically sales tax means you can say input tax, output tax. And during May, Phoenix sold good with a listed price of 600, and this is excluding the sales tax. And to whom? To Yan on credit. So as Yan was buying a large quantity of goods, due to which he or she get a 5% discount on the normal list price. So first mistake what the student do is regarding the sales tax. So first, please check out what the sales tax given in the question is. Other thing that you need to be considered is whether the price given is included, whether the sales tax is included or not. Okay, so in our case, the sales tax is excluded and the tax rate is 15%. So now, whenever you are charging a sales tax or output VAT, what the thing that you need to consider is, if the entity or person is entitled for the discount, then we have to charge sales tax on the net amount. Okay, so in our case, if you look at the question says sales price, or we can say list price is 600, right? And after discount, what will be the list price? After discount, price is, I'm just solving the roughly. Okay, after discount, price will be your so I hope you know how to calculate the discount. You can do either, what you can do is the 5% discount has been given. So in our case, list price is 600, right? And what you can do is you can first multiply 5% Okay, 0.05. Okay, so this will give a $30 discount, and you can deduct it from the 600, right? Or what you can do is, it's simple to save your time. uh the net discount, I mean, the price after discount is 570. So what you can do is, in shortcut, you can so as there is 5% discount, so if we will deduct from the 100%, the remaining is 95%. So from 600, you can simply multiply 95%, which will give you the same amount which we calculated earlier, 570. So now we got to know what the after discount price is 570. So now the question asks, what will be the gross value, right? So value gross value means the price including the sales tax. Okay, so these things also the student used to do mistake, so be careful here as well. The question is asking the gross value. So now what you can do is, again, there is two way to calculate the gross value. You know the sales tax, you can simply multiply 15%, which will give you the sales tax of 85.5, and you can add this amount on the net price, which is 570, and this will give you total of 655.5. Or what you can do is, so we had calculated net price of 570, right? And you can simply multiply with 1.15 percentage, and why I will tell you in a while. Okay, so its answer is 65.5 percentage. Okay, so 65.5% is your answer for the gross value. So now why I multiply with 1.15 percentage? So basically, whatever the price of the good is, we have to add 15% more. So what I thought, in 100% we have already having 100% of the amount, so we need to add 15%. That's why I had multiplied with 115% with the net price amount. So this will give you the gross value. Remember what I told, I am repeating again. What the student do the mistake is, the first and foremost, let me color it. Okay, so what they do is, they assume the sales tax amount, which is incorrect. Okay, so this one they do the mistake, and other is whether the price is including or included the VAT or sales tax, or excluding the sales tax. You need to figure out those things. Then what the question is asking, in our case the question is asking the gross value. So some of the student might miss this word gross, and in due to which they will answer 570, which is incorrect. Okay, so there is difference. If the question has asked that this list price includes sales tax, in that case this means 600 in 600 amount sales tax is also included. So that's why there is difference. The answer will be different if the question changes with a word, right? So that's why it's very important to read the question carefully. Moving to the next question. What the next question is, at 1st December 20x5, Lorry owed the sales tax authorities 23778, means 23,778. During the month of December, Lorry recorded the following transaction. So what is the balance on Lorry's sales tax account as at 31st December? So now again, there is two ways to solve this question, either through the laser, or simply you can plus and minus the things in a certain figure, you will get your answer. I will show you by solving from the both of the method. So I will suggest, if you are at the start of the preparation and you don't know the basic, in that case I will suggest you to go through the laser. In case you have at your mid of your journey where you have practiced lots of question, in that case you can solve it by doing plus and minus, right? So let's first solve through the laser. Okay, so now what is a laser heading? It's a sales tax. So sales tax means the tax we need to pay back to HMRC or tax authorities, right? So it's a liability, and being a liability means it should be on the credit side. Means if liability is increasing, it will be posted on the credit side. If it will be reduced, it will be posted on the debit side. Okay, so as on 1st December 20x5, so what was the balance? Basically lorry owed means to be payable, to payable. So lorry need to pay tax authorities the amount of 23,078. Okay, and during the month she have following transaction incurred. What is that? The first is the sales of 800,000 exclusive. Please read the word carefully. Exclusive of 17.5%. So if the question mentions the word exclusive, in that case what you need to do is you can simply multiply the price. You can take the price and multiply it with 17.5%. So this will give you the sales tax of 140,000. So again, if we are charging tax on the sales, we need to pay those sales tax amount to the tax authority. So again, it's increasing our liability. So here we will add 140,000. 140, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so next we have a purchase of 590, 790 inclusive of sales tax of 17.5%. So on if we are purchasing some goods, then again we might have paid a tax on those goods, but we can claim those amount from the tax authorities. So it is payable from tax authorities, so it will reduce our liability. So basically the funda is that if business is registered for the VAT, in that case whatever the goods that business have been purchased for the business uses, they can claim the tax paid on those amount. But at the same time, if the business is selling those goods, the business need to charge tax on those sales amount, and whatever the sales tax amount being collected, that need to be paid back to tax authority. But in the real things, what the businessmen do, what the amount they have been paid and what the total amount they have been collected from the customer, they will net off both of the amount, and if the net figure is need to be payable to tax authority, in that case they will pay back to tax authorities. If net amount is receivable from tax authorities, in that case they will receive from the tax authorities. So again, in the case of purchase, we need to figure out how much tax that they will receive from HMRC. So as the question said, the VAT is inclusive. Okay, here question is saying inclusive. So if it say exclusive, in that case we can simply multiply 17.5%. But if it say inclusive, the calculation is that the way of calculation is that we will take the price and we will multiply it with 17.5%. But we will not we will first multiply with 17.5 and we will then divide with 117.5%. So this will give our VAT, input VAT of 87,900. So 87,900. Sorry, 990. It's 990. So okay, so if we look at this laser, the credit side is more than the debit side. So that means we need to pay back, we need to pay to the tax authorities. So question is asking what will be the balance as on 31st December. So if we will add the credit side, we will have 23778, then we will add 140, 123, then we will deduct 87990. It will give the value of 75,788. This will be the final answer. Okay, Okay, so the other way to solve this question is that, so as we know, sales tax authority is liability that we need to pay back to the tax authority. So it will be on the credit side. We will simply take this amount. Then for the sales tax, again we are selling the goods to the customer on which we have to charge the tax, and that need to pay to tax authority. It means it will again increase our liability. So 140,000 we will again take, and it will be again posted on the credit side. So now we are purchased some goods on which we have paid tax that need to be repaid back from the tax authorities, and the amount is 87,990. It will reduce our total tax liability. Solving this all will give the same answer as we did earlier. So this will save your time, and if you have practiced a lots of question, in that case you can do it easily. All right. The next question is, if sales sorry if sales including sales tax amount to 27,612.50, the purchase excluding sales tax amount to 18,000, what will be the balance on sales tax amount assuming the transaction are subject to 17.5%? So again, this is easy as we did earlier, so I will say to you guys to try it once, and if in case you can't, do let me know. I will try to solve it. Okay, so next question is, in the quarter ended 31st March 20x2, Charlie had a taxable sales net of the sales tax of 90,000. Taxable purchase net of the sales tax is 72,000. If the here you can see the sales tax rate has been changed. That's why I said please look at the sales tax in the each question, because it might be different as we are practicing. So that's why it's very important. If the rate of sales tax is 10%, how much is sales tax is payable to tax authority by Charlie? So basically, if we will go through the laser, because or some of you might be newer, so here let me charge the sales tax on the sales. So here taxable sales is 90,000 and it is of net of the sales tax. So if we will multiply this amount with the sales tax of 10%, it means 9,000 will be posted on the credit side, because as it is liability that we need to pay back to the tax authority, that's why it will be shown on the credit side, right? And again we have purchased the goods on which sales tax will be, if we will multiply this by 10%, it will give 7,200. Okay, so this will give 7,200, and this will reduce our liabilities, so it will be posted on the debit side. Okay, so now the question is asking how much tax is payable to tax authority by the Charlie. So as you can see, the credit balance is higher than the debit one. So that means liability is more. So the difference is 1,800 that need to be paid to tax authority by Charlie. So 1,800 will be payable. Okay. Okay, so moving to the next question, and the question says, how much question is left? Let me check it out. So question number 134, 135. So there are lots of questions. Okay, let's do the question which we are doing earlier. Question number was, I think, 125, right? No, sorry, 130. So let me 42. Oh, 46. Okay. A summary of transaction of Ramsgate Company, which is registered to account for sales tax at 7.5% on all transactions, shows the following for the month of August 20x9. So output exclusive of the tax and input inclusive of the tax. So output means your sales and input means the purchase. So you can remember like this, output means you are sending something out from your business, and that will be in case of sales. And input means you are bringing something into your business, so that means you are purchasing something. So at the beginning of the period, Ramsgate Company owed 3,400 to the authorities, and during the period, Ramsgate Company paid 2,600 to them. So what is the amount due to tax authority at the end of the month by Ramsgate Company? So basically the question is asking, so they have, how much is the opening balance? So Ramges Company to be payable. Okay, so they need to pay 3,400, and out of which during the period they paid HMRC 2,600. That means it will reduce our liability and it will be 2,600. And during the period the following transaction has been incurred. So on output of 60,000, if we will and it's excluding the VAT amount, right? So on 60,000 we will multiply 17.5, then divide by 100, because it's exclusive the tax amount, so it will give the 600 point, how much, 175.175. So now how much output is been paid? So the 40,000 will include the tax amount. So again we will multiply by 17.5%, but this time we will not divide by 100. We will divide by 107.5. Why? Because it already includes the VAT amount. Is it correct? Let me check it once more time. 40286 into 17.5 divide by 117.5. So this is give me 6,000, and this will reduce the tax liability, which is 6,000. So if we will total this side, it will give 4,000. One, 7, 5. Right, and if we will total the credit side, it will give 8,600. So this time debit is more than the credit. So how much balance is due? Just a second, I think I did some mistake. Let me check the input figure. 60,000 into 17.5 divide by 100. So this will give 10,500. I don't know how I calculated this. So 10,500, right? And adding this to the 3,400, this will give the total figure of 3,400. So this will give 13,900. 13,900. Okay, and now the credit side is more than the debit one. So if we will subtract 8,600, this will give you the balance carry forward or balance due to tax authorities, 5,300. Okay, and one more thing I would like to say, in for the skill, knowledge level paper, the question might ask you to give your answer in the two decimal place or nearest to 100. So if you did the, even though you calculate the answer right, but if you forget to round it to the nearest 100,000, or the question asks in the two decimal place, if you will give answer in the one decimal place, even though your answer is right, but your mark will not be allocated if you are not giving your answer in the format asked by the question. So other mistake, that the very common mistake, is very common mistake. So lots of students do this mistake. So be careful what the question is asking and how much decimal place, or in whether they are asking in the nearest form or not. You need to check it out as well. Okay. Okay, so moving to the next question, 131. What the question says: which of the following statement best explain the sales account of the business which is registered to account for sales tax? All right. The first option say it is credited with the total of the sales made including the sales tax, and the option B says, so basically, if we talk about the option A, do you think we credit the total sales value in the sales tax ledger? No, we only credit what the question is saying about, sorry, sales account. So in sales account, we only credit the sales amount excluding the sales tax. Okay, so that's why option A is incorrect. And what the B says, it is credited with the total of the sales made excluding the sales tax. It is somehow correct. And the C says it is credited with the total purchase made including the sales tax. So in the sales account, we don't record the purchase. Purchase is recorded in the separate ledger. And again, for the last option, it is credited with the total expense excluding the sales tax, is also incorrect. Okay, so moving to the next question. A business sold goods that have a net value of $600 to Lahari. What entries are required by seller to record this transaction if sales tax is applied at 17.5%? So basically, if just forget the sales tax, if the sales transaction has been incurred, what will be recorded on the debit side and what will be recorded on the credit side? So if we are selling the goods, so obviously on the credit side there will be sales. Okay, and on the debit side, if we are selling the goods on credit, there will be receivable. And if we are selling the goods on cash, then here it will be cash, bank will be debit, right? So here might be cash as well as bank. Okay, slash bank. So now, if we figure out the option, let's forget about the amount. So if we will see in the credit side, only 3 options have the sales. So last one is already omitted from our out of the 4 option, right? So now the question has also asked for the sales tax. As I said, the sales tax is what? It's liability that need to pay to tax authorities, right? So as it is liability, so it should also be posted on the credit side. So here we will also add sales tax amount. Okay, sales tax amount. Okay, so now if we will look at the option the 3 options remaining, we can see in the option A the sales tax has been debited, so this option is also eliminated, right? So it's like a KBC, you need to eliminate the option. Okay, so now we have only 2 options remaining, B and C, and it could be figured out from the amount. But if you will see the credit side amount is the same for the both of the option. So if you will figure out the debit side amount, you will easily solve this question, right? So what will be the amount on the debit side? So debit side will include both gross figure. So we need to calculate the gross figure, and the net value is 600. Net value is 600. If we will add VAT, and the VAT amount is 17.5%, so it means the value will increase. So it means we need to multiply by 117.5. So 705 will be the amount. So I must say, you guys know how to calculate the gross figure. So basically the question has given the net figure, which is 600. Okay, 600, and this amount is 100%. I will note down somewhere. So this amount is 100%. I will write here. Okay, and we need to calculate the sales tax. So sales tax, if we will adding sales tax will increase the value of the goods. So sales tax amount is, we need to calculate by multiplying 600 into 17.5%. This will give a sales tax of 105. Okay, and how this 105 has been calculated? We have simply add 17.5%. So this will give you the total figure of 705. This will give total figure of 705, and this 705 is 100 plus 17.5%. So this figure is 117.5%. Right? You can do this way, or what you can do is, you can simply multiply 600 into 117.5%. You will get the answer directly. Alright? Okay, so next question is, later, a customer returned goods to the streamer that had a net value of 200. What entry are required by streamer to record this transaction if transactions are subject to sales tax is payable at 17.5%. So now the laker, the customer that has returned the goods that has net value of 200. So if we will talk about 200 is net value. Let me add the notes. It will be more easier to figure out. Okay, so net value is 200, and this is 100%. So if we will add VAT, VAT will be 200 into 17.5 divide 100. So this will give a sales tax of 35. The amount was 35, right? Yes, amount was 35. And this is 17.5%. Adding these two will give the total value of 235, and this is 117.5%. So what you can do is, you can simply take that amount, net amount, which is 200, and multiply it with 117.5 divided by 100. That means 117.5%. It will directly give the value of 235. Okay, so but the question is asking, what entry are required if the customer is returning the goods? Okay, so now you will find the two terms, return inward and return outward. I think return inward means sales return, and return outward means return purchase return. Okay, so now customer is returning the good, right? So earlier we had booked the sales, which is on the credit side. So now the customer is returning the goods, so we have to debit the sales. So we will, let me add the note here. So we will debit sales return. Okay, and the customer might need to return the amount, or if the goods has been sold on the credit, we need to reduce the receivable balance because we are no longer going to receive this amount from the customer, or customer has paid the cash, we need to return back, or the customer might say to return the amount, so we might paid out through our bank, so means bank balance is being reduced. So this will be the entry. Okay, so if we will look at the four option, only two options having debit return inward, means debit sales return. So two option is already being eliminated, right? So now out of first and second, we again need to figure out the sales tax amount is same, no issue, but we need to figure out the amount of either return inward or receivable. So here, so amount in receivable balance we okay, let me check it out. Okay, so here we also have a sales tax, which earlier we booked when the customer purchased the goods. So as we are returning the good to the customer, so we are no longer liable to pay to those amount to tax authority. So that's why liability is also being reduced. So we need to debit the sales tax as well. So even though you don't calculate the amount, you can easily figure out the answer, which is A, because it's only having the sales tax on the debit side. Okay, so this is the correct way to solve the question. Even you don't calculate the amount, you can still figure out the answer if you solve it logically. Okay. Okay, so in next question, let's stop the video here. We will continue next question in next video. So I hope guys this video is useful. In case you find my content very useful, please share it among your friends, and please subscribe to my channel and share it among your friends so that they could also have the benefit. And you will get the link of my previous as well as upcoming video in the same in this video. It will be blinked over your screen. You can access them from there as well. So I hope guys you have enjoyed this video. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.